That's not a comic book. Now that's a comic book.
Hi everyone, this week on Trade Talk we're talking about the unbelievable Gwenpool Volume 1, believe it. This, among a couple other books, was sent to me by Simeon the Vacuuminator Scott, so thank you for that, Simeon. Appreciate the gift. Though I'm going to come out the gate on this one and just be brutally honest. This was a hard read for me. I did not particularly enjoy this. There were moments that I thought were pretty fun and cool, mainly at the very beginning. So the premise of Gwenpool is she's a girl from our universe who got sucked into the comic book universe of Marvel and just doesn't care. It's just like, oh yeah, it's wacky comic, they're all fake, it doesn't matter. And hijinks and such ensue. Honestly, I'm pretty bored by it, which is funny because like I was reading my Cosmic Ghost Rider Destroys Marvel History, and I'm finding this really, really enjoyable and fun, and you know, it's funny in this issue in particular that Deadpool shows up, he's like, oh, this guy's stealing my gimmick. Marvel does this with characters fairly often. They introduce a character who's got like some kind of fourth wall breaky or just weird powers or something. Someone's just an oddball in the universe and is either aware they're a fictional character or might as well be. And they just kind of use it to make fun of themselves. You know, like honestly, this series opens with Howard the Duck. Howard the Duck's kind of there first, and then you've got She-Hulk, and then you've got Deadpool, and then you've got Gwenpool, and then you've got Cosmic Ghost Rider, and often Spider-Man can basically be in there. So like this is just a very, you know, kind of silly, goofy thing in that regard, and that's all well and good. I did not care for it. I literally almost fell asleep while reading one of the issues, and yeah, probably it's because I just needed a nap, but at the same time, it was really boring. And a lot of the jokes weren't landing for me in any significant way. Like, right out the gate, there's a great one. Gwenpool shows up to this mob meeting that Black Widow's holding on the roof, a trade-off thingy. And she, you know, shoots it up and rides a motorcycle off the roof and grabs the MacGuffin and says, as she's going, she waves at Black Cat and says, "Bye, Felicia." And Black Cat says, "But do I know you?" And that was funny. I laughed. I got a kick out of that. And that's, you know, it's right at the beginning of the book, so I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe this will be kind of fun, kind of good. It just, nothing worked for me after that. Like, I read this and I was just exhausted by it. You know, it's got that formula of joke after joke after joke, and then I just don't care. She just runs around trying to shoot Howard the Duck after this, and her whole justification's just like, oh, you're just a fictional character, you'll be brought back to life next week or something anyway, it'll be fine. And that's kind of her justification for not caring about what happens in this world, or for being kind of reckless and crazy, and just loony. And I don't buy it. I know that's probably a little silly, but like, yeah, she's young and a comic fan or whatever, so she knows how all this universe works. Sure, that's fine, but like, she's too reckless. I don't buy it. Like, this just doesn't feel like what you'd do if you suddenly found yourself in the fictional Marvel universe. Like, oh yeah, I'm a normal person, so I know everything, so I'll be fine. No, like, there's an alien invasion every week. Shit goes wrong like crazy. You're probably in more danger because of how much you know. And so the like reckless abandon thing just did not work for me, and I just didn't find it endearing. It just felt kind of annoying and kind of goofy, but not in a good way. Like there's a moment where she needs to sneak onto a secret thing, so she gets a touristy helicopter ride and then just jumps out of the helicopter. And I'm like, I know it's a fictional universe, but you can still die, right? Like, there's at no point do I feel like she doesn't think she'll be hurt in this universe or something. And it just gets kind of ridiculous. She's kind of operating under the assumption, well, I'm obviously a good guy, so therefore nothing bad can happen to me and stick. And like, that's kind of, to some extent, funny, but at the same time, it's just, the joke wore thin on me really, really fast, is all I can say. So yeah, I really don't have much to say about this volume as far as the story goes. Art-wise, there was some stuff I quite liked. Whoever decided, I don't know if it was this artist, if it was this team working on this book, or if this is like more of an established thing in Marvel and I just read such little Marvel that I didn't catch it, but whoever decided to give MODOK a mohawk is a fucking genius, and I love that. Artistically, stuff is fine. The art style here is pretty... kind of a mix between what I'd call a more typical comic book and more of the cartoony, like, fun stuff. It's got a nice art style. Nothing that blew me away, but also nothing that that distracted me or I felt was overly done or underdone or anything like that. Just kind of fine, just acceptable. Definitely fits the material. The art doesn't seem to be at odds with the book itself. Doctor Strange shows up for an issue to basically just like Deus Ex Machina. I can't fucking say it. Dukes Ex Machina. I can't fucking say it. Doctor Strange shows up to magically fix a bunch of her problems for her, and I guess that's fine. Though the problem seems pretty artificial since MODOK demands that she have a social security number and banking information so that he may pay her. Really, MODOK? You're gonna get... It just feels kind of contrived. I don't know. I really wasn't into it. Is all I really have to say. Just, it did not do much for me, and I was kind of disappointed. I'd heard a bunch of people talk about this, and I'd heard it was really fun, and this just did not do it for me. What can you say? Yeah, that's all I got. Really short episode of Trade Talk because of that. That's it. Alright. Everyone, thanks very much for watching. Until next time, bye!
That's not a comic book. Now that's a comic book.